All right. I needed a new chore chart for my children. So please excuse, I put numbers instead of their names. I've covered up their names so that I can respect my children's privacy. I had a red one before, or I mean a round one, but it just didn't quite work because I wanted a way to have my older children, number 1 and 2, have slightly different responsibilities than my younger children, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I figured out a way that I can have them rotate through the jobs. I don't have to have 2 separate job charts, and it just works. I've used this for about 2 months, and I really haven't found. Okay, I found one qualm, and that's this side right here. Actually, it's both sides. So let me explain it first, and then I'll tell you my qualm. All right. So the way this works is child number 1, her job, they're learning Spanish, it's the bathroom, and it has her responsibilities right there. But when it moves on to being child number 3's turn, and this isn't going to rotate quite as nicely because I've got all this tape on it. When it goes to child number 3, instead of having the bathroom, because it's a harder one, she actually has our downstairs living room. So it makes it easier for her to have, for me to have different jobs. And right there, we'll leave it kind of in between. No, we'll put it back. All right, so let me explain how I made it. First of all, I thought through which children I wanted to have what jobs and what responsibilities. And I made a chart. I put the responsibilities for the older children across the top and the corresponding jobs and responsibilities for the younger children across the bottom. I put this all in a little chart in paint, nothing special. Figured out the scale so that it would fit on my piece of paper. And then I originally copied that chart 3 times and then pasted the names in. But really, I would just, to make it easier, what I recommend is that you just make 3 sets of all of your children's names. So I have children number 1 through 6. I'm going to write child 1, child 1, child 1, child 2, child 2, child 2, and make sure that they are in squares that are the same size of this chart. So copy this chart another couple of times and fill it with 3 sets of your children's names. All right, once you make your chart, get your names, you are going to go ahead and print that all off. Make sure that these bars right here are nice and fat. These, you see I'm going to cut on either side of that line. Oh, let me grab, here I've got some stamps right here. You can see how fat that line is pretty easily right there. Because you're going to cut on either side of it. It needs to be able to hold your strip through. Okay, so once you've done that, you are going to, first of all, I put this against a cutting mat. I have an old cutting mat, kind of like those green ones you see at Walmart, but mine's not so nice. And then you're going to tape over it with this stuff. Hopefully you can see it in there. It is Scotch single-sided self-seal laminating roll. I'm sure there's other brands of it. I've used other brands. I love this stuff. I use it way too much. I got this one. I had the price tag. Sorry, I bumped the camera. It had the price tag right there. I got it on clearance. It was originally $14 and I got it for $4. Yeah, I was pretty happy about that deal. So you're going to take some of that stuff and put your paper down flat on your cutting mat, and then just put your laminating tape. I'm going to call it tape from now on because I cannot remember the laminating self-seal whatever thing. You're just going to tape that down to your cutting mat, and then you're going to use an X-Acto knife and cut out these squares without cutting them all the way out. So basically you're just going to cut these lines right here on either side of these purple lines. Don't cut across this way. Just cut horizontally, all of those lines. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take some of that, and actually if you don't want to use all that, this is just packing tape. You could try packing tape. It looks like for me it would have worked. but I didn't. I used my laminating stuff. You're going to put that on top of this chart with the sticky side up. And then you need to take your children's names and put them in order across this. So what you're with your strip, your long strip of tape or laminating stuff, you're going to make it really long, like 3 times, at least 3 times the width of this chart. And start on this side, put your children, your small children on the top, your big children on the bottom, or I mean you can do it the other way too. And make sure you keep them in the same order. So you can see after number 5 comes number 6. And if I turn it right here, the next one would be number, actually I think I got them out of order. Whatever I stamped on there, I didn't put it quite right. Oh, that's because I only have 5 children on this chart. Sorry, this should have been number 3, and this should have been number 5. 5, 3, and then just going all the way around. 3 is kitty corner to 1. And it just goes all the way, and there's 3 sets of names going all the way around. So this is just one big loop. You can see it going through on the back side, hopefully. So you're going to lay down your tape, put them in their order, then slide the tape over, and you're going to line them up just perfect with this box. When I did it, I honestly, I printed 3 sets of names and then I cut them out. So, but it was really hard. These were really floppy and it was not easy. So I just recommend lining them up with the box with the sticky tape, the sticky side facing up. So you can just line them up right there on top. Once you've got those 3 sets, take another layer of laminating roller tape and cover the top side. So you're going to end up with these clear windows like this. And then is the part where you get to thread it all through. You can, what I did is, you can see right here, maybe you can see that line. I left a little bit of a tail that I could slide through. So you go under the first, and what I needed to do right here, you can tell I've got these 2 separate sides, kind of, this one flaps funny. It's because my children, maybe I can get this to slide over. It does not like to slide with that tape in it. I can fix it right now, but they just undo it on me all the time. They pulled it all the way over and then got it to slide underneath this thing. See, I can't even get it through. But it should go, maybe if I slide my stamps through. Nope, I can't even get them through. Maybe I don't have it far enough. Anyway, yeah, I can't show you. They pulled it too far and got it out from underneath this. So what I really needed was like how it is on this side. I need another slip of paper to be going, to have that loop go around it. So like right where my finger is, I needed one more slot to thread it through and go around. That way my children wouldn't undo it on me. But I just deal with it kind of, I have to pin that down every time I tell them their jobs. That is my one qualm, is that I didn't put that one little loopy thing in there. And this is catching, so I can't line it up. So you're going to thread all that through, and you're going to leave this little tail to have something that's not sticky to thread it through. I don't know if you can see that in the light or not, right? There, you can maybe kind of see it, I don't know. And then once you thread it all through, and make sure you've got it underneath these bars, but on top of your text, you're going to thread it just straight through the backside and come around and tape it right there. And when, oh, so by the way, when I did this big paper, I intentionally left like 1/2 inch of laminating tape so that when I was done, I could just peel the whole thing off from my cutting mat and paste it right there. So I didn't laminate the backside. I just took the whole thing and stuck it right there. And it's holding up really well compared to my other job charts. This is doing a great job. I'm loving it. It works so well. It helps me to divide the chores according to age. You could do 3 rows if you wanted, but I'm totally content with the way I did it. It works really well for my children and the responsibilities that they need. So I hope that my explanation made sense. I think it's a cool idea. I did not steal it from anybody. I don't think I've ever seen, I don't know, maybe I've seen presentations, but never a job chart. So yeah, I didn't steal the idea. I thought it out of necessity. Yeah, go ahead and use it if you like it. I hope it works for you. Otherwise, I hope you find great ideas for your own chore charts. And thank you for listening.